minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great minds think alike. Let's ride. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned in.
All right, welcome to the Great Minds Podcast. This is Derrick.
This is Vaughn.
And welcome. Appreciate y'all checking in again.
Definitely.
What's going on? A lot going on. So
for real.
Yeah. So it's a lot to catch up on. So we want to make sure we stay in the mix and be interested on everyone's opinions on a lot of things. I'm saying it on social media. A bunch of stuff going on. NBA playoffs. We're gonna touch on my man Kwame Brown
going nuts.
Yeah, my man getting loose, getting a revival.
For real.
So we'll tap into all that. But all right, I want to tap into CDC stuff. So it's kind of free reign in some spots. What I did like what Murphy did in New Jersey is that like he left the mask on in the stores, you know what I'm saying? Because how are you going to expect like a retail worker or anybody for that matter to anywhere where customers come to try to regulate a person without a mask, you know what I'm saying? Or to figure out like, yo, are you vaccinated? Like, you can't put that type of heat on. Like sometimes you got like a 16-year-old working at Target, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They shouldn't be responsible for that. Unless you want to have like a licensed guard with a gun. Security, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I like that he kept that in place. I've been out. I feel that people are, I guess, between it being hot and between like, the new CDC recommendation, I see people are just feeling a lot more loose. I think when you combine that with more people that are vaccinated too, I think, you're seeing people let up a little bit and breathing a little bit. So, I mean, it's not a terrible thing. You just gotta, at this point, you gotta figure out what's best for you.
Yeah, I think what they did, like CDC is kind of confusing, like as far as what they say and how they throw things out. And I think that they don't do a good job in communication with certain things as a whole. It went back all the way to when it was really bad when Trump was around. She didn't listen to it anyway. But now it's like conflicting, right? Because people are getting vaccinated, we know that. But I don't think people understand what vaccinations really are. Like, I don't think they understand what it is. Like I've seen some of the most prominent people. I'm not gonna say prominent, but I've seen some of the most influential people say the dumbest things about vaccination. Like the Yankees, 8 players tested positive. So okay, that could happen. And then somebody I'm not gonna say who it was, but he put like, this is crazy. They were vaccinated. How they testing positive? I'm like, yo, you understand how that works? Like you don't just be immune from the virus,
right?
Like so that's why I think when CDC stated that like, the mask removals for certain places, like if you're vaccinated, like they should never said that because people, first of all, it's the honor system, right? And you can do what you want to do, but when you give people that okay to take off their mask because they're supposed to be vaccinated, the point of being vaccinated and having a mask is to help prevent other people from getting sick.
Exactly. Right.
People wonder why we didn't have a flu season because everyone had a mask on. That's why we have a flu season, really. That's, you know what I'm saying? So I think the thought process is kind of ass backwards with people. But I like what Murphy did with certain things, and I think certain states should do that. But like I saw pictures in Tennessee, they out there wild on I forgot the strip. It's like a major strip down in Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
They out there flooded. I'm like, you have people like that, and then you have people who are taking the precautions.
Right. So
it's like, for each his own. At this point, I don't care what no one do really. Like I know what I'm doing. Like I got my mask on regardless. I'm gonna have my mask on for the next in closed spaces for like the next year. I don't care. Year too. It don't bother me.
I mean, yeah, it's not gonna hurt you. And I think it's to the point now where it's like it doesn't matter who's vaccinated or who's not vaccinated. In my view, it's just like you got to do what's best for you. Like if you got health issues and you're not vaccinated and you choosing to be out without a mask, then that's on you. You're not gonna hurt me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You do what you got to do. So I think it's a good time for it because I think we have enough information where, I mean, it's kind of like about drugs and you make a decision whether to do it or not. It's all about choices, right?
Nobody told you sniff that 8 ball.
Yeah, sniff that 8 ball. And if you're not gonna get vaccinated, I mean, I'm indifferent for what you do. I mean, everybody's got to do what's best for them. Then you got to know the risks that come with it, and you got to move, and maybe you got to move a little differently.
You do. That's the thing. People aren't moving different. But my thing is this: like, if you don't care about XYZ, and you don't want to take this, you don't want to do that, you don't wear a mask. If you get sick, like I don't care. Like it's one of the things that might sound cruel, but like I don't care. Like you can't complain to me about getting sick when you're not taking the precautions not to get sick.
Right.
Like you can't sit there and be like, yo, how this happened to me? I'll tell you a bunch of reasons about how it happened. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I am with it.
Right. And it's just like, all right, well, if you don't want to wear a mask, then get vaccinated. Because if you get it, you know, in theory, you're not gonna get rocked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you shouldn't die in theory. You know
right.
What I'm saying?
But you can't have it both ways, like Marlo said, right?
Yeah, both ways. These people want it both ways. Like, yo, nah, like you get sick, you take the precautions. Yo, that's on you. You gotta wear that.
Yeah.
Like you gotta wear it. Whatever happened. Hopefully it ain't fatal, but you know.
Yeah, and that's why I don't mind the guidance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. At this point, there's enough research to, you know, to back up. I mean, again, things are changing. We witness in science in real time, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
But yeah, I think the way we handle stuff in the Northeast, and I hate to say it, like even the West Coast too. Like I think just like I'm not gonna say we smart. We think better, like about certain things. Like I think, like we just see the bigger picture. You have your eyeballs in and out there. You know, free thinkers that want to think what they want to think, but as a whole, we kind of get it. Like if you in the city, you can't play somebody too close. Like nah, don't play me. Like it's like an unwritten rule. Like people just already automatically know that. So you have your outliers, but when you go to these other parts of the country, those they don't get it. Like they're more rural, they don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna it's kind of ignorance to a certain point.
Yep.
So hopefully everybody be all right, man. But keep that mask on.
Yeah.
Keep it on.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, man. And if you're outdoors, I mean, there's research to say outdoors is a little bit safer. If you're outdoors and you vaccinate, I mean, at the end of the day, man.
See, my thing is if you outdoors, it's all good. Like, do what you want to do. Like, but if you're indoors and you're in the vicinity of somebody, why wouldn't you want to put something on your face? Like, I don't understand why you wouldn't. Like, if you outdoors, like, get it. Like, you outdoors walking around, you're going for a run or going for a jog. But if you go to the gym, yeah, you should have one on.
Right.
Like, all the germs in that spot. You know what I mean?
I'd say what the jokers that's missing a tooth or something. They don't like that guidance, man. They can't hide no more.
Can't hide. Yeah, I saw somebody said something about they were like, yo, you get to see people's face, people's mouths now. You didn't see my people's mouth in like a whole year.
Yeah,
people
man.
doing all types of crazy stuff with their mouth. Like you looking at something like you got no mask on no more. You know what I'm saying? So
you could have gone to work with bumps on your lip, busted lip, missing teeth.
Now it's coming up. People crazy, man.
Take mask off. Take that mask off.
Yeah.
All right. J. Cole album. Again, I'm on Twitter a lot heavier now with, doing music podcasts, everything like that. And they got like hip hop Twitter, right? Yeah. So like one thing I noticed about like hip hop Twitter, and you got to get on our Twitter page just once in a while, just scroll the timeline one day, right? It's just like people have like just like a preconceived notion about everything. It's like even from the Hov and I song, everybody's dissing it before it dropped. The same with Cole. They were just like, oh, it's gonna be whack, and I think.
Why would it be whack though? I'm trying to figure it
out. There's like a lot of people like they like troll people that like Cole. They call them like coal miners. Like that's like
kind of funny.
They call them like coal miners. I think a lot of people just like that bang bang shoot 'em up rap all the time, or that coke rap and stuff like that, and that's fine. Like we all listen to it.
Yeah.
So I think certain people like they perceive J. Cole's music to be like soft. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not killing people in his raps, or sometimes maybe he's saying stuff above their head or stuff that they can't relate to.
So it's ignorance for the most part.
Yeah, or you got younger guys that just like Future, Young Thug, just like that lane. But I like the album a lot. You know what I'm saying? If I could rank it, I mean, if we want to go 5 mic system, I'll give it a 4. You know what I'm saying? If you want to go out of 10, I'll give it an 8. Just to give a perspective. And I kind I kind of thought it was gonna be dope, especially after you heard like that interlude.
Yeah.
And interlude joint. Then you heard then he had that freestyle that came out with LA Leakers.
Yeah.
After that, he was kind of spazzing on that. And then so a lot of so I'm trying to think of where I got it ranked. I think Friday Night Lights is like the best body of work he's had. It's a mixtape, but still, I think that's the best body of work. His best studio album, I think, is Forest Hill Drive.
Forest Hill Drive, yeah.
And I went back and forth with Born Sinner and this the off season, the next two. I think after listening to it a little bit more yesterday, I'm gonna give off season the edge. I have listened to that again yesterday. But I like it, man. I think it's extremely solid. I think he, I don't know, a lot of the things he talks about kind of resonates with me. You know what I'm saying? As far as like, you know, he's been to school. I feel like he's had a lot of life experiences that I've had also. So I think it was dope, man.
Yeah, I like the album a lot. I heard it the first day about like 4 or 5 times all the way through.
Yeah.
Probably heard it 10 times in general. Every time I put on something, it's pretty much that. That's what I'm listening to since last week. I'll give it a 4 out of 5. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna rank it with his other albums because I think he just competes with himself. I don't really think he really competes with anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't think about any other albums. You know, I just thought about that. But from I-95 with Cam on it, I knew it was gonna be crazy because it reminded me of a mixtape. So I'm like, all right, got Cam on, and then he switched it up with Lil Jon at the end. Now the crazy thing about that is that's typically from where he's from that North Carolina area, to where they can listen to 2 different things like that, to be on Dipset flow, movement, and then hear a Lil Jon do the same thought process for them. So I thought that went well. And then, you know, the More Life joint with the guy Moray I've been telling you about for a minute. Moray on there, he's from Fayetteville as well. And with
Savage.
Savage on it, which is crazy. He got like a nice mix of collabs on there, but not anything extra. Like no one on there is like a reach. You know what I'm saying? Everyone fit to, like, even with Lil Baby, even with Boss, even with Black, everything just flows. So I think it's very solid piece of work, and I knew it was going to be good. Like, it was no doubt in my mind how it was going to be.
Right.
You know, I didn't even listen to KOD. Because that vibe, I knew I wasn't going to be on that vibe. I know what he was doing.
Right.
But I knew I wasn't going to be liking it like that. So I didn't even listen to it like that. I probably heard like one time, maybe half. I didn't listen to the album. But the way he raps like now, I think is what I want to hear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different.
I like the way he presented the album too. Like, first of all, he didn't really make the announcement until it was like 2 weeks out, which is perfect.
Yeah. Now that's perfect time.
Yeah, because it's like, all right, and then he dropped the single the next week. Like, sometimes you'd be like, all right, he dropping an album in summer. Like, I feel like those albums never come out.
Nope.
When
you don't need to no more.
Right. When you're precise in like 2 weeks. And what I liked about how he rolled it out was, like, initially, even when you first listen to the album on Spotify, he didn't have the features listed on there.
Yeah, it's fast.
So it's on there now.
When I first heard, I didn't know because I wasn't seeing. I didn't know who was on what. I'm like,
exactly.
Yo, who's that? Yeah.
But I think he did that so that you would be surprised for every future. Like, I had when I heard Cam, I thought I was listening to the wrong album. I'm like, yo, what is this?
Yeah, why is he on?
You know what I'm saying? Because Cam and Cole don't even seem like they would know each other. I mean, they would know each other, but not enough not to like connect for a joint.
And that's why I think it flows so well. Like, he picked people like that, like people you thought like, all right, we knew 21 to be there. We know because they're a lot joint. Yeah, you're like, all right, I can see Lil Baby on there. Look, Lil Baby and spaz on everybody's track. I'm telling Lil Baby going crazy on everybody.
I'm going to get to him in a second because I haven't been Lil Baby bodied that verse. I was like, yo,
he didn't just body that verse. I know we talking about the Cole album. He bodied that joint with Drake too. I posted.
Oh yeah. He was ripping. Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you, and this kid's just learning how to rap. Like, he's just learning how to rap. You know what I mean? So, but now I think Cole just did it perfect, man. The Cam thing took over the edge from me from start. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. And then every song, man, the Dame Dollar on it, on the joint, taking that interview, like, everything meant something. So I think it's a real solid piece of work.
And with the Cam thing, and like Cam is one of the best dudes to just like talk. You know, talk his talk. He from Harlem, he flashy. So for me, I felt like it gave me a vibe of like a big time boxing match, right? The main event. Like I felt like that was Cole coming down the aisle to get ready to box.
And that's why I'm glad you said that. I was thinking it was like a. You're right. It was like a prelude, like a walkout,
Like Floyd or
like
Mike Tyson coming down.
Like the album, I was gonna say the album to me felt big.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I heard it from a car to the crib to headphones. It just felt big. The whole album just felt big, like something big is about to happen. So you don't really get that feeling, for a lot of people, a lot of albums. So I think it's great.
Couple of my favorite joints I would say on there. Obviously the intro, I-95. Then you had I like the joint Close. 100 Mils dope.
100 Mil, yeah.
My Life. The joint Pride with Lil Baby was crazy. It's dope, man. It's dope. I feel like it's growing on me every time too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, every time I listen to it. Yeah. So I've been taking a lot of trips recently just between, doing stuff, and I was able to like hear the album in full without having to like break it up.
Yeah, without breaking it, like let it play. Yo, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah.
And you gotta finally listen to Lil Baby's album, I'm trying to tell you.
I tried. I'll double back though.
Yeah, I double back. Yeah, he's going crazy like that, but his last features he been on, crazy though.
Yeah. All right.
Get that Cole album.
Yeah, that joint is definitely dope. Well produced too. That was also like one of the knocks on Cole is like sometimes the production, or sometimes I felt like he was trying to produce his own music too much. But he came and he did a few joints, and he came with a nice production team, and it was dope, man. Rollout was dope. Very, very happy with that album.
Yeah.
So, all right. Kwame Brown, man.
KB
been spazzing, right? So for, I guess, whoever doesn't know what's happening, what was it, All the Smoke podcast?
All the Smoke, yeah.
All the Smoke
Steven
podcast.
Jackson and Matt Barnes, yep.
Yeah, so they kind of dissed them. They were talking about with Jenny Buss, they were talking about the Paul Gasol trade.
Yeah. And then they did that was the first thing. And then they did it with Gil last week. That aired last week. And it came back up, and Gil was saying it was basically him saying like, yo, Kwame, I felt bad for Kwame.
Yeah, Jordan crushed him.
Jordan crushed him, and like it was like what he was saying wasn't dissing though. He just was talking, but that's kind of how it led to that. But Kwame and Gil are cool though. They talked, and it was about money things. It's more about money than anything. He thought he messed with his bag when he said he didn't do it. So, but
yeah.
Elaborate on other stuff. so
I guess universally Kwame Brown is like a bust, right? But when I think of a bust, like he ended up being like a solid role player. I think he's labeled like bust because of where he was drafted. You know what I'm saying? I think anybody. I mean, he had a long career in NBA. It's not like he was out of the league. He just wasn't. 2 years, he just wasn't. He didn't turn out to be number one pick good, and there was a lot of factors that went with that. Like, Jordan drafted him thinking he was going to get Elton Brand.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Jordan was doing like playing in GMing basically at the same time.
Yep.
So I mean, I think he's a bust relative to where he was drafted. But he's not, I mean, you think of Michael Olowokandi. Yeah. I mean, there's other guys. Adam Morrison. He's a bust.
Yeah, like when I think of bust, like I don't really think. I think he made $65 million, in the league.
Right.
To me, I don't think he's a bust. I think he's a bust, and there's reasons why. Basketball is all about opportunity where you land, right? Yep. So if you get injured, you getting this, you getting that. You're an 18-year-old, 18-year-old kid at the time going to Jordan's XYZ. He's putting that bad vibe on you. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of different things that factor in, but he kept staying in the league because he's doing something well. I think I'm Team Kwame. Anyway, but the reason why I'm Team Kwame is because he's been the butt of jokes for like 20 years.
Yeah.
He never spoke anything. He never said anything. And I think that the problem that Matt Barnes, and I haven't watched the show in a couple of weeks. So I missed the beef, the Jeannie Buss show and the Gilbert show but I didn't even watch it yet. Probably won't watch it, tell you the truth. But when Kwame thing popped with Kwame, I'm like, yo, what's going on? I didn't really understand that how it was correlating to people till I started doing my research. But when you are an NBA player, a former NBA player, a former whatever rapper, whatever you are, and you go into media, you gotta be cognizant of certain things. I think you gotta do a certain level of respect to somebody that's like quote unquote was your peer. Right. Especially if it's like a teammate or whatever it is. And if you are on good terms with him or her and nothing has transpired like no bad blood is there. If it's bad blood, I get it.
Right.
But if I'm interviewing somebody and I'm Steven Jackson or whatever, and you say Kwame Brown, who was his teammate in Charlotte, and we supposed to be kind of cool, like not cool like best friends, but we know each other. And I'm not going to degrade him and say, oh, that wasn't really two-player trade, just only one person. That's throwing shots at him. And I
they
think
kept saying it too.
Yeah, they kept saying it. And the problem with them is that they think like, yo, you're media, but I'm holding to a level of respect as like a brotherhood. So I'm thinking like, yo, you're not going to diss me like that. Like I can understand like Stephen A can diss me, Mike Wilbon can diss me, but like a fellow player ain't going to diss me like that. Like especially somebody, you ain't thinking like that.
Yeah, the grind as a player.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to be like, yo, the kid 18 years old, bought his mom a brand new house. Like who can say that? They did that. Like to me, he's not a bust. So figuratively speaking, there's different levels in the NBA. We know that. But yo, he made $65 million first pick. Ain't his fault he got picked first. Matt Barnes made $35 million in the league. Journeyman.
Yeah.
Steven Jackson only made $65 million in the league.
Yeah.
Looked it up. So it's like, all right, so what are you saying really? So and he was like the second round, deep in the second round, right? But it's like a level of respect that I think that they wasn't showing him. And I think that's why he was so mad. Like, yo, he's supposed to be a brotherhood. So then he went on the rant. And everything he's saying is pretty much factual, it seemed like, because nobody's saying it's a lie. Nobody has even like old teammates ain't replying. Everybody's just like, yo, they just quiet or they just keeping it going. And Steven Jackson saying like, and the thing about Steven Jackson that he's confusing, even to himself though. Like I always thought that, like, yo, he's doing this, but then like he has the gangs that we talk about sometimes. Like, all right, cool. Then I'm like, but you talking about XYZ, but you talking about this. It's like, yeah, you on both sides of the fence. Like, what you really talking about? And then it's like when he did his rebuttal to Kwame, he was like, look at me, like, yo, my shape up's good. I got this, I got that. It was more like self-absorbed, and what Kwame was saying was really what we were seeing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, you're dirt. I'm not gonna throw dirt on you, blah 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 blah. Like you can't backhand diss somebody like that. So everything Kwame's saying, and Kwame never said anything about like putting hands on anybody.
No, he was just talking about the strippers and stuff, right?
Exactly. Yeah, but you always know whenever someone's mad and they can't come back on anything, they always say the same thing again. You're a buzz, and then it's like, don't make me do this to like. Kwame's like, yo, I'm not worried about that aspect of it, but I didn't say anything about that. So if you can't talk with your mouthpiece, and they say you want to do it turn physical, you gotta know it's some truth in what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I think they wrong with that. I mean, I think it just got to their head and they forgot that they're not in the locker room talking. They on a platform talking. So you gotta be cognizant of that. Like, yo, everyone's gonna see this. I can't be doing that. And Matt Barnes like, what do I do? You tapping his leg. like egging him on. So he said something. So now Kwame Brown is the quote unquote angry guy. Well, he's not angry. He's just saying, what it is.
Right.
Those guys.
Yeah. And I think I don't know. I think it's got to end at some point though. And I feel like I kind of, and like he had the right to air those guys out because I mean, you can't be like, oh, he's ODing. Like he's been bottling this up for what, almost 20 years at this point.
Ain't said a word about it.
So
that we've heard.
Yeah. So I agree with it. I think it's entertaining. I just hope it wraps up at a certain point because I think he's like he's coming out like Jamel didn't say much. She just said like he chose violence and he took it literal. Like he never even heard that term before.
See, this I'm telling you, listen, man, that's the problem when people not mind their business, yo.
Right.
Like when there's something going on, you don't know the ins and outs of what it is, just don't comment on it. And
right.
I think sometimes people forget, whether it's Jamel Hill or whether it's Charlamagne, the Breakfast or whatever, people forget, like, yo, mind your business. Like if I'm not talking about it, like, so you don't know how someone's gonna react. So she stuck her neck in there. He was like, yo, man, this is a man conversation. Like, please see your way out of this. Like, this got nothing to do with you. And then she apologized for it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think sometimes more and more people gotta get checked like that with certain things, because I think a lot of times, especially and it always is the black media though.
Right.
Like, it's never, you don't see like that much white media jumping on other white white entertainers.
Right.
They'll have their back a little bit. The black entertainers, the black media jump right on the black entertainer. Like, yo, you see what's going on with T.I. and Tanya? That's posted everywhere. You know what I'm saying? What's going on with them? You see what's going on? And then Kwame made a point. Why is no one talking about the dude that beat his girlfriend up? They beat the black chick up.
Yo, the dude from he was on the Seahawks.
Seahawks. Yeah, like beat her to a pulp. Like, and they said one day people said something about it. Like, it was on like one of those First Things First or whatever those shows are. That's it. After that, it's on to LeBron or it's on to Russell Westbrook. It's on. It's like, yo, it's like forgotten about. Like, yo, no.
Now I get why it's not like constantly talked about, because it's like he's not like a big name guy, and that's fine. But I think like, you know, Roger Goodell needs to step in and be like, yo, the same thing he used to do every time Antonio Brown did something. At least come out and say like, this guy is suspended pending. Like, he didn't even say that.
Because see, what they end up doing is they do it quietly. They say something to him. They go, oh, he wasn't on his meds or whatever it was. Like, yo, nah, if someone black did that, yo, they on front page news. If the other way around, it's, oh, he wasn't on his meds. Like, yo, it's treated totally different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Even with the black media, we gotta be cognizant of that, yo. So like, bring it back to the Kwame Brown thing. I don't think he's wrong. I think he gotta die down. I think it will die down. But I think what he's doing is right. He's saying truthful stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even about like the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne and stuff like that. Yeah. Talking about what Charlamagne was, yo, he's spitting facts like about that whole sexual assault case. Yeah, he's saying what it was. Like, what you want him, you know. So people gotta mind their business, because you don't know, you know. We mind our business.
Right. Yeah, Charlamagne, they have to get into his personal life.
I didn't know what he said, yo.
He was saying because I guess him and Kwame grew up in the same area, and basically he was saying, it wasn't really a diss. It's kind of like how Charlamagne is, like trying to be funny a little bit, but he was saying like Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson need to fall back, because he said he was like basically saying like Kwame's family is like about that life. You know what I'm saying? It said like his pops allegedly, had a beef with a girl, hit her with an axe, buried her alive. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And he said like his older brother's in jail for murder. And then he had another brother that was like about that life in Charleston, South Carolina. So Charlamagne was basically like, I mean, the only knock I had, like maybe Charlamagne shouldn't have said it, but I don't think he was doing it to diss him. He was just kind of like, yo.
It wasn't really a diss. He just brought it up type of thing.
Yeah. So like Kwame was like, basically, don't speak on my family. Like, you ain't need to do that. But what Charlamagne was trying to do is like, yo, this dude is chilling. His family's about that life. This dude is 6'11". He ain't say nothing. Don't bother him. That's what he was saying. And he said like Charlamagne, like Matt Barnes is his man too. He was like, Matt Barnes, you're my brother, but these dudes his family's about that life. You need to chill. That's all he said.
That's just like what happened with I that's what Gilbert Arenas said. Gilbert was like, yo, whatever he's throwing, I'm ducking. He's like, I don't want no smoke. We got on the phone. We said, now, he said, me and Kwame, we cool. Now him and Barnes and Jack, that's a different story. But he said, yo, we talked, and he said what it was about. It's about some contract thing that he thought that he had him benched so he can get more shots. But he's like, yo, I don't got that much pull to do that. At the time, it was something else that transpired. It had nothing to do with that. And we good. He said, yo, I didn't see Kwame knock out security guard, like knock out people. He said, I want to go to the club. Because I was with him, because he was like my protection at the club. So he was just like, yeah, I don't want no problems with him. And when he said that, I was like, he is 6'11", like, so I don't think he's gonna, I hope it don't get to that, but.
And that's all Charlamagne was saying. And like I said, the only thing that was wrong, like the public probably didn't need to know that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
so why he go at him so hard then?
Because he brought it up. Like,
but I thought it was something different. Like the way he was going at him, I thought like, yo, he called him like donkey of the day or something.
Nah. It was part of the rumor report, and actually the majority of it was Angela Lee just talking about the situation. You know what I'm saying? But he just chimed in because they grew up in Charleston and Moncks Corner down in South Carolina, and he was basically like, but like I said, like
it was kind of OD a little bit.
Like you and me, like we shouldn't know the story right now. Like you wouldn't know that if Charlamagne never said it. I wouldn't have heard it if he didn't say it. You know what I'm saying? Damn. So he was just kind of tight about that, and then Charlamagne was just like, "Yo, if you don't believe me, Google it."
Yeah. See that, and that's what I think.
I think he could have just said like, "Yo, I know Kwame family. Y'all need to let that man just chill." That's all I'm gonna say.
He could have said that, yes, but I'm being devil's advocate. Even if I was Kwame, I would just chill. I was like, yo, just chill with that. I wouldn't have went like he was talking about sexual assault, about getting him off the air, like he's doing stuff that could really ruin your joint, because if something is died down and you solve that and it's quiet, you need a couple rumblings coming up because kicking him, and he's picking up steam. He got 15,000 new followers in 2 days, yo.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
And it's probably going up. So he's picking up steam. So he gets enough people who starts complaining. He starts saying like, yo, the black women, y'all don't let this happen. He's calling on that.
Yeah.
So that could start getting real ugly up there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know it's not like LeBron saying it, but where smoke is fire, right? When somebody's fire is smoke. So I don't know, man. I hope they in it good, man. Is dead.
By the time we record an episode next week, it'll be over. That's just how it goes. Somebody else gonna do something. LeBron gonna flop it. LeBron gonna flop again.
We gotta get on that, dude. It's getting it's been ridiculous, yo. And I try to give him the pass.
Like my
it's
man.
Crazy.
So I guess we could transition to NBA.
Let's transition.
All that. So I watch clips of the Herd, right?
Yeah, Colin. Yeah, good show.
What I like about the Herd is like his show is not like a debate show. Occasionally he'll have like Broussard on or my man Rick Bucher. What I like about Herd is like he always has great segments. Like and he's got Joy on. But he's really like a one-man band. He does dope stuff. Like he had what he had.
Fam, before he had Joy on, back when he was on ESPN. Mm-hmm. This dude I know put me on, and I was like, yo, I'm like, I ain't listen to talk radio. I'm like, I don't want to hear that's boring. Like, I didn't care about it. He's like, nah, watch it. So you can view it. Yo, it was just him in the studio.
Yo, he
fam,
rocking, yo.
It was nobody else in the studio with him. He was like, yo, I gotta talk to myself for 5 hours, or 4 hours. And I'm like, yo, that's why getting Joy or whoever before he had Joy, he had someone else, I think. Whoever he had there is you need somebody, and Joy's perfect for it because she knows her stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's not just chiming in with something, a valid point with certain things, you know what I'm saying? Which I think is key. But my fault. You were saying about
so he has like dope segments. So like the most recent one he had is like comparing quarterbacks in the NFL to like NBA stars. So he had like
Aaron Rodgers is LeBron.
Nah, Aaron Rodgers is Durant because like he doesn't always get along with his teammates. He's snippy with the media.
So who the hell do you have for LeBron?
Tom Brady. Like a guy that's like, who's basically defeating Father Time. Spends $1 million on his body every year.
My bad. I know who Skip always says that Aaron Rodgers is LeBron of football.
Because he hates him. That's why he says that.
Yeah, he's saying because he always like a drama queen and stuff like that. So that's I got it mixed up. Yeah.
So he had AD as Ben Roethlisberger because he says like, here's a dude with like elite talent, both of them, but neither one of them take care of their bodies.
How's that possible though? Like, I mean, I know Ben Roethlisberger loves too many hamburgers, but I'm talking about like AD,
like he works out, but like he doesn't
train.
Like LeBron puts $1 million and Russell Wilson puts $1 million into their body every year.
But like, why wouldn't you do that? I told you the worst thing for the Lakers was to win a championship because when LeBron goes, AD going. I can't stand AD's game right now. Like I think, he's 7 foot and he's taking threes, yo. He had Andrew Wiggins on him yesterday and pulled up. I said, yo, he gonna pull it right now. And pulled up. He even tried to go to the box on Andrew Wiggins. Like, come on, man.
All right, so let's talk playing.
Playing, right? Yeah.
As a fan, I love the playing. Like
So,
I thought I was tired. I was tired yesterday, so I ain't catch any of the Lakers game. I heard it was a great game, but I was traveling.
Yeah, the first half was cooking. In the second half, I fell asleep on that. So I was kind of surprised. Woke up in the middle of the night and saw that they won. I thought they were going to lose because they would look terrible. Like they look horrible.
So I like the playing as a fan. I think it adds an extra element. It's crazy. Like I just heard like they don't count any of the stats from the playing. So whatever you do, those stats don't count towards playoffs or regular season.
Well, it is in that gray area.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of.
I get it.
It's not technically the playoffs and it's not the regular season, but I like it as a fan. I think there's ways you could tweak it. Like I think I was reading something. Somebody had a good idea. They were saying like if like the 10th seed is like more than 4 games out, like they shouldn't have an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like the Spurs, like there's no way the Spurs, in my opinion, but it's never going to be perfect.
Yeah.
I think the best way to do it, though, if you're going to do it, I would have 7 play 10, 8 play 9, and the lower seeds have to win 2 games against them to advance. The higher seed has to win 1.
Gotcha.
So, like, if 7 plays 10, 7 wins that first game, they're in.
It's a wrap.
But if 10 wins,
I play who? They got to play 8. They won
No. It's like a series. Except.
So you saying 7 and 10 for best of 3, possibly.
But the higher seed only has to win 1 game.
True. So like, you behind the 8 ball anyway. If you an 8 seed going against the 7, I mean, if you're the 9 going against the 8 or the 10th against the 7, you gotta win 2 games.
Now, if you could beat the 7 seed 2 times, then all right. You know what I'm saying? Or if you 9 and you could beat 8 twice, but now you got 7 playing 8, they go in, and then like you get a 1-game series against like a 10 seed. You're like, all right, bro.
Yeah. But the crazy thing about it, I think it's dope. Like no matter what, it ain't gonna be perfect, right?
Nah, not at all.
I think the fact that you have that, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, all right, Bill Parcells said this: "You are what your record says you are." Right. So I don't care how good you say you are. If you were 7 seed, you were 7 seed. If you were 10 seed, you were 10 seed, right? But like last night was a prime example of why the Lakers, to me, aren't winning the championship, right? Like just watching that game last night, I was like, damn, Golden State they were hungry. They had nothing to lose. It's like, yo, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna play. Eventually, talent and a little bit of, I would say a little bit of luck in the Lakers form fashion, whether it's fouls or you know how it goes. But as far as from the tip of the whole first half, they were getting dominated by Golden State. So you were like, yo, this is crazy. So we never would have saw that. So say Golden State goes on a run and they win 2 games, right? They beat the Lakers, then they turn, they beat the other one, they in the playoffs. They're gonna get bumped in the first round. We know that.
Right.
But it adds that extra level of excitement, and it makes everyone play hard the last couple of games of the regular season too, instead of packing it in. If you're that nice, if you're top 4 seed, do what you want to do. But if you're 7, you gotta play.
And I understand from the league's perspective too, because at the end of the season, you still got the 12th seeds playing hard, right?
Yeah.
Because they're a game or 2 out of the 10th spot.
Exactly. So everyone's going pretty much from 8. Well, no, I'm sorry. From 7 to 12 are playing hard.
Right.
In both conferences are playing.
Because 7 wants to avoid the tournament, 12 just trying to get in.
Word. So you have good basketball. You're gonna have it's kind of like the playoff atmosphere starts already.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it's good. I think the reason why some of our people were complaining about it and some of the players is because they were old.
Right.
The thing is because like LeBron was complaining about it or said what he said. I don't want to say complaining because he said what he said and kind of said, yeah, that's how I felt at the time. But it is what it is. I'm not gonna talk about it no more. Like, I'm not gonna like belabor the point, which I thought was dope of him because we already know he didn't like it. But it's only because he's old. You know what I'm saying? You didn't hear anybody complaining about it. You didn't hear anybody else in the league really saying anything about it, right? I'm not superstars. Like you didn't hear like Paul George or them talking about it. Or Kawhi. Kawhi used to always miss games. He didn't talk about it. You didn't hear anybody on the East Coast, Eastern Conference talk about it really too much. I think it's perfect, but I think It just should be something they keep every year, though. I think they're gonna keep it every year.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting because you don't get outside of a game 7, you don't get that one and done feel for the NBA like you get college. You know what I'm saying? Like it gives you a whole different type of rush.
Yo, and that's crazy because that one and done is official. Like, because like in basketball, you know, in the series, or even baseball, the best team probably win unless they got injuries, right? Like something crazy happened throughout the like when Clay went down against Toronto, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, but in NCAA, in football, yo, the best team doesn't really win all the time.
Right.
It's the hottest team or a team that makes that play here and there.
Or matchup.
You know, yeah, I think this makes it more intriguing. Like at least like I'm watching tonight. I watched every playing game for like a little piece of it. I wasn't watching basketball all year really. I was watching like highlights or like spot watch, but I really watched the games. I watched these playing games, see like how it was going to look, and like right now I got Washington against Indiana.
Yeah, they up 14.
You know yeah, up 14. So but you want to see Westbrook and Bill. So say you get a hot Westbrook and Bill. They going in, so I'm not sure what seed they are. They mess around.
That'll be 8.
They be 8. They gotta go against Philly, right? All they're gonna do with Philly is double Embiid and say someone else beats us, right? And Embiid's not the greatest pass out of double team, right? like my man be doing some crazy passes, but
they could double Embiid, it ain't gonna matter.
No, but I'm just saying. But you got the firepower from Bill. Bill can drop 50. If Russ can get 30 point triple double. I'm not saying, but it's something that people want to see though. Right. Like you watch that, but they can squeak it 2 or 3 games in that series. You know what I'm saying? Like they shouldn't win the series, of course not. But you know, just like if Steph got hot, if Steph can score 50 points every game for a series, they can beat anybody.
Yeah,
he can do it. So I'm saying so that's why I think the playing game is good. So you'll get a chance to see people like that that you might not have seen if it wasn't in session.
Right. All right. So, I mean, I'm assuming Washington's gonna get in. I mean, we don't know all the teams that's gonna get in. The teams that's playing ain't winning the chip anyway. So we could.
Nah.
We could. Who you got winning the East?
That's an interesting one.
I'll go first if you want to think.
No, I'm good. I still got the Nets winning it. I got the Nets come out of the East just because I just think they're just too damn talented. The only thing is chemistry, right? But I think they're going to be able to get to the conference finals just on talent alone. Like just because what are you going to do? You got KD, you got Kyrie, you got Harden, you got a loaded bench. They got even the role players are balling, right? So I think the stars can figure it out, like because Harden is like so. Like he said it best. Like I'm really good at basketball. Like I don't care what shape he's in, how you think he is. He's really good at sport. He's really, really good at basketball.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's a better way to put it.
Word. So he just knows how to play. So I think being around those guys, and even that time he had an OKC back in the day, he's okay with not scoring the points.
Right.
Which is rare because you think Harden going, he'll be the best point guard. He's the best point guard on the team.
Yeah, easy.
You know what I'm saying? Easy. So he'll take a back seat, meaning scoring wise, and he'll let KD gonna eat regardless.
Right.
Only person that worries me is Kyrie. Only because sometimes he's a little flighty with certain things, and
you know where his head is.
Yeah, you're like, if he puts it all together, he's there. But I think they're gonna come out the East. How about you?
I actually like the Bucks, man. And I don't
feel like the Bucks, even after a couple years. Everyone likes the Bucks.
Well, I'll tell you why. They don't have the pressure on them like they have now. Like last 2 years, it's like, the Bucks, number one, Giannis, MVP. So now I think when people are discounting them, like the year the Raptors went to the finals, like I picked the Raptors. Like I actually bet the Raptors to go. I had them losing to Golden State, of course. That was before the stuff happened with KD and Clay or whatever. But I just think the addition of Drew Holiday is huge, because he could be a serviceable second guy. Like Middleton to me is like a third guy, right? A guy that could, like, if he gets you 15 points as a third guy, you're like, all right, cool. But if he gets you 15 points as a second guy, you're like, all right, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think Drew Holiday helps there. I think if you watch the Nets play them, like they literally have no answer for Giannis, like at all.
Yeah. I see. Yeah, That's the only competition I see for the Nets, honestly. And I won't be surprised if they did come out. Like I just wouldn't be surprised though because how well they played against them in those couple games I saw late in the season.
Like they put DeAndre Jordan on them. Obviously, and they did it because it's like
barbecue chicken.
They're like, all right, Giannis can't shoot, right? So like they give him space, but when you give him space, all you doing is giving him a running start at you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I actually think that's a sneaky pick. I think they under the radar. And they just added like key guys, like a guy like PJ Tucker. You know what I'm saying? Like a guy like if he plays against Harden, he ain't gonna stop him, obviously, but he's not afraid of him. You know what I'm saying?
And plus, he played with him for years.
Hey, he played with him. He's playoff tested. He can hit the corner three. Brook Lopez can stretch the floor. They
got a good team.
Yeah, I think with the addition of Drew Holiday and guys like PJ Tucker, that's my pick to come out of the East. Who you got in the West?
West is gonna get crazy because the West, it's crazy because before Jamal Murray got hurt, I was like Denver looking crazy, right? Then I'm like, all right. Then I'm looking at Phoenix. Phoenix look crazy, but they're not battle tested. Phoenix only person battle tested is Chris Paul, and I think Chris Paul is such a strong leader that he can lead them. He can lead them to the finals. But everybody else, I'm a little worried about, right? And then you got Utah.
That front court kind of weak, and outside of Ayton.
Front court kind of weak.
Yeah.
Then you got Utah, which is they battle tested, but I don't know how Mitchell gonna come back because he hasn't played. So it's like, yo, like I was saying with LeBron, we were talking. I'm like, yo, he gotta play, yo. I don't know what's wrong with his ankle, yo, whatever. If you watch the first half of last night's game,
he said he was. Yeah, they say he's injured. I mean,
yeah, he definitely injured, but he looked like the Watch King, like Larry Holmes out there. Like that's why I was so surprised that he hit the three. Like I was surprised. I'm like, yo, what I just saw in the first half I was like, yo, no elevation. He getting blocked by like bums. Yeah. He getting taken to the hole by everybody. I'm like, yo, this look bad. So I don't know how Mitchell's gonna look. And then the Clippers have the most talent. We know that compete with the Lakers and can beat the Lakers. But with the Clippers, their thing to me is that they don't have any. They don't play well in the fourth quarter. You know? Like in tight games, they just don't play well. Like I don't understand why they don't play well. They don't have a real point guard, I guess. Like Ron, you got Rondo now, but true, you do got Rondo now. You got playoff Rondo.
He turned into Isaiah Thomas in the playoffs.
Word out. So that might happen, but they gotta prove it. I gotta see it. In the Lakers, I just don't believe in their health, yo. Like it has nothing to do with skill.
Who you picking then?
Yo, it's tough. Who I gotta pick?
I got my pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Clippers, yo. Just because I would want to see the Clippers against Brooklyn. I think that'd be dope.
Yeah,
a New York LA final.
I got the Clippers too. Utah is just kind of like I gotta see it to believe it. Phoenix.
But those fans are coming back though. That's the thing. That Utah fan base is they crazy, yo.
They do. I just like when you win a chip, man. Like you need that guy, like not in the regular season, but like I don't know that Donovan Mitchell was it after missing all that time. That's just how I feel about
true. It. If he was already playing it and he had some momentum, then it's like, all right, I can see that. Yep.
Phoenix, I think is too young. The front court is weak. Like the Lakers are. I mean, even the hobbled Lakers, like who gonna guard AD? Like AD.
Yo, AD can guard himself.
What I'm saying is, like, if you put a guy like Draymond on Davis, he struggles because Dre don't care.
Draymond was in his grill yesterday, yeah.
And Dre don't care. Like Dre talk crazy to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I don't think Phoenix got it. If the Lakers were healthy, like and I could trust the health, I would say the Lakers.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, if they were healthy. Definitely.
It's almost like Clippers by default. You know what I'm saying? I think when they get to the playoffs and LeBron
and it's no pressure.
Right. LeBron's hurt. When LeBron has to play every other night, then things are gonna start revealing itself. You know what I'm saying? Like now he can kind of like take a couple games off in the regular season, and he's hurt, man. And it's a shame because
he gotta take a cortisone shot.
It's a shame because this is supposed to be the season when like AD should be at the point now where you're like, all right, well, play Bron 30 minutes instead of 36. I got it. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Yo.
not it. And I know Bron is probably like sneak mad that he attached the last set of his years of his career to AD.
Yo, AD need to do some squats. He need to do some squats. He need to do anything for the lower body. Yo. My man fall like like a baby did.
Yeah,
He stayed for
horse legs.
got baby horse legs. Yo, like yo, you can't stay up. I never seen a dude that skilled and that big fall all the time.
Right.
Like normally athletes don't fall all the time. You might get bumped off or something. Somebody
Right.
He's falling. No one's even touching him, yo.
Yeah. Like when he was trying to pick LeBron up, like how do you fall? Like you just the play's not even going on. So I like the Clippers.
Tripped on the lines.
I guess Clippers and Bucks.
We're gonna win it.
Man. I think playoff Rondo is a big X factor.
Yo, what? Like how's that? I just want to know. He been playing Rondo for years, right? But how does that happen? Yo,
certain dudes, man, like it's like Dame time, right? Like, you know, certain dudes just got it. Certain dudes don't. I don't know. It takes like a certain mental toughness. I think he knows how to pace himself as a veteran.
Yo, dude be shooting like 25% from the 3-point line in the regular season.
Right.
Playoffs come, he hitting 45, 50 at a clip. Like, yo, what's going on?
So I got Clippers beating the Bucks in 7.
You know what? I wouldn't be mad if Milwaukee won a chip though.
No, I think that could go.
That fan base deserve a chip. I mean, Clippers fan base deserve a chip too. I ain't gonna front. But something about the small market team getting a chip that I think is like good. I think it's good for all sports when a small market team gets a chip because it keeps the parity better. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you won't mind getting a free agent to go to Milwaukee.
Right.
Like typically ain't going to Milwaukee. You know what I'm saying? Like San Antonio, people going in and out of San Antonio. San Antonio nothing there but the Riverwalk.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like people ain't really like it's like a family type knit community. So that'd be dope.
So who you got?
Damn. I'm gonna go Clippers.
Clippers. All right.
I'm gonna go Clippers, yo. I just can't. New York could go crazy if Brooklyn won the chip and before the Knicks. Like, nah,
it's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. City go crazy. It'd be like civil war.
Yeah, I think Rondo's the X factor, right? Because Kawhi and Paul George aren't leaders. You know what I'm saying? I always equate this. I always say like the whole Chauncey Billups Melo thing, right? Like when Chauncey was there, Melo was just rocking. He had nothing to do.
He had nothing to worry about. Just score.
Play a game. Now I think with Rondo, Kawhi could just be a robot, get his 30 points and not say anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Paul George could have some of the pressure off of him, and he can just ball out. And Rondo don't need to shoot. He's great putting things in place.
And he a winner. He got 2 chips.
Yeah.
So it's like anybody in the locker room, I look at him and listen to what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? In some form or fashion, he has that cachet and that respect when he walks through the door. Like, everybody know what it is.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So I think that was a huge get. That was a huge loss for the Lakers.
I'm like, how let him go? I'm like, hell no.
Well, they took Schroeder, so it's like they went with like the I guess younger,
better player. Because Schroeder's like only 27, right? Like he's
They went with and they got him pretty cheap too.
Shoot, you know he's gonna re-up
as far as the trade. You know, they traded for him, but so I think like I think they got the better talent, but like. I don't know. I think this is when it's going to really count.
Yeah, because ideally you would think you have Caruso, you have my man Kuzma, you have KCP, you got these players, right? So all you really need, you got Braun and you got AD. You just need that extra. You don't really need. I mean, Schroeder's a good plus. I'm not trying to diss him, but you don't really need that to win the chip. Because you win the chip with playoff Rondo.
Right.
Really, Rondo is why they won that chip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, how he was playing. I mean, of course, you know, Braun's Braun, AD's AD, but Rondo was that glue.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man.
So, all right.
MVP, right?
MVP. I think it's pretty easy. Just I thought before Embiid was hurt, I thought it was him. Yeah. I think Jokic kind of went I'm not going to disrespect him and say he wins it by default because his numbers are crazy. But I think he wins it because he was the best player that was most available.
Yo, call him Big YMCA. Yeah. Yo, he is the MVP. I mean, you can make a case for Steph because what's going on and what he's doing. He's unbelievable, first of all. But Jokic, man, like he was doing similar last year, but like this is just different. And he held it down when Jamal Murray went out too.
Yeah.
They run everything through him. Like
I think that's the difference. I think it's a difference of who had the better record out of the Warriors and the Nuggets, really.
Yeah.
Because, if the Warriors were a 3 seed, I would say Steph. But, Jokic, he averaged basically a triple-double as a center. That's insane.
Yo, Steph got two MVPs, right?
Yeah, back-to-back.
Back-to-back, yeah.
He got the only unanimous one, too. Crazy.
Yo, dude. I mean, he was crazy, though. Like,
oh, it's crazy, man.
I never seen somebody shoot like him. Every time I see him shoot, I still say the same thing. Like, it's like a joke. It's like he's not even trying.
Word.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he got a whole different bag, man. It's crazy. So,
quick question: Who take him or Kyrie?
Him. Like, that ain't even a question.
No, I mean, who got a better handle?
Handle Kyrie.
I used to say that. I think it's kind of like neck and neck now. I used to say it like Kyrie hands down, but watching what Steph is doing is crazy to me. Like I don't know, like you know what I'm saying? Like the gap ain't as big as it used to be. Like I was like, yo, this is nobody touching Kyrie's handle. But like Steph is doing is crazy.
Yeah, his handle crazy. I think Kyrie. I think they said like he dribbles with a tennis ball and he dribbles with the ball in a plastic bag or something like that.
Like his handles is crazy, but I just like to see the gap has closed though. At first it's like Kyrie hands down. Now I'm like, Steph got a little something on him. Like he got more than a little bit, but he's like he can get any way he want to get. Like Kyrie does 2 moves, and he got you with the first move, and the second move he just like he's want to do it.
He might be the best guard finisher ever though.
Yeah. He knows how to finish.
Angles, glass, it's crazy.
Yeah. I just want him. I mean, he can do his thing, but he's rich, whatever.
Yeah.
But if he just stay focused or whatever's going on, I know sometimes it's tough though. Like it's tough. You got a lot of things going on in your mind, and especially if you were like a worldly person, you're not just thinking about basketball. But
exactly.
Yeah. So I want him getting a chip though. One more chip for him.
Yeah, no doubt.
True.
All right. Well, thank y'all for checking in again. You can catch the Great Minds Podcast on IG at the Great Minds Podcast, Twitter at the Great Minds P1. Follow, subscribe, share, all that. Appreciate y'all.
Wear a mask.
Wear a mask.
Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. Let's rock. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. 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 Derrick Devon, oh boy, like Cam on a song. Culture safe now, thank God. The panic is gone. Time to heal from the pain. Take the bandages off. You gotta win. The stakes are high like a cannabis bomb. Okay, it's game time. Picture with the balls. That's a FaceTime. Great minds spreading faster than a rumor through the grapevine. Vaughn and Derrick, deserve the merit. All salute. It's more than just a podcast show. It's like a movie. Vaughn and Derrick, what up? Great Minds Think Alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. It's the Great Minds Podcast. Great Minds Think Alike. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast. You're now tuned into the Great Minds Podcast.